What's going on, guys? Today is June 17th. Happy Tuesday. Back again with another workshop today. This one is going to kind of be similar to last week. We're not going to be going super in-depth on any article today, although I will leave you guys some articles that I found on this topic. But it's just going to be mostly my experience with this situation. And today we're basically going to be talking about getting verified on social media. I'm mostly just going to be talking about Instagram specifically, since that is the only platform that I'm verified on. And really just kind of maybe the pros and cons to it. I'm not really gonna sway you either way. So I kind of want to preface that before I kind of tell the story of what has happened to me in more recent months. This video is more to just share my experience, the reason I chose to get verified on Instagram, and I guess the different pathways you could take as far as making that decision for yourself nowadays. So I'll let you guys know about the articles here in a bit, but I guess I'll just share, kind of why I chose to do this. This was December of last year, so the end of the year, I think it was like a couple weeks before Christmas. I actually went on a date with my girlfriend. Drove back home in a blizzard. Like, I'm talking complete whiteout, couldn't see anything. Didn't really know that was gonna happen. I kind of just got stuck in a blizzard, and she lives about 2 hours away from where I live. So I was driving, just couldn't see anything, couldn't see 2 feet in front of me. It took me about 3 hours to get home. And when I got home, I ended up, I was exhausted. I was like, let me just check social media. I might just go to bed. I check Instagram, and I'm completely logged out of Instagram, which has happened before, so I didn't really question it. I was like, maybe the app just reset. Let me just log back in. Couldn't get back in. Tried to have a new password set, and basically what had happened was someone went into my account and changed the email associated with my Instagram, which is like the big de facto thing that keeps you from getting back in your Instagram. Even if you change your password, if they end up changing the email associated with it, they pretty much have full access to it at that point. And I did not have two-step authentication set up, which is my mistake on my end, because they were able to just get right in and change it and do all that. And the biggest issue was that because I was not a verified account, I couldn't contact Meta in any way to have them solve the issue. So I was just pretty much out of luck with the whole thing. And basically by the next day, I pretty much accepted defeat, and I ended up making a new Instagram account and just starting from there. But it took me like a couple weeks because I had to kind of build up the following and build up the credibility a little bit for them to allow me to submit to being verified. And obviously the process now is pretty easy compared to what it used to be, because as long as you're willing to pay the $15 a month to be verified, you can do it. But essentially, because of that situation, I wanted to get verified because of a few different reasons. One, when I was researching the current landscape of all this stuff, part of Meta's verification is the added security. So you're not just paying for the blue check mark, which is what obviously most people are paying for it for, is they want the status of saying, look at me, I have that blue check mark. It's like a status thing. And that's what it's always been. I mean, even before Meta acquired Instagram, people were running different agencies and they were charging people hundreds and thousands of dollars just to get the blue check mark. And people were doing it because that's just how people's minds work. They love to just buy into what they deem as popular or in the now, and they want to be known for something. And for some reason, the blue check mark, Instagram's been doing that for a long time. It used to just be they would kind of just do it they would deem who is necessary for receiving verification. So it used to be like just celebrities, athletes, just big time influencers. But again, obviously, since Meta's purchased it, it's been a lot more of the pay to play, where anybody can get verified. Verification really doesn't mean anything at this point. But I learned that currently how they have it set up is you get an added layer of security by being verified. So the first thing I did was set up two-step authentication, because I don't know why I didn't have that in place to begin with. That was my own fault. Very dumb decision on my part. So I had that set up, and then I got verified because I found out that if someone gets into your account, you can contact Meta and say, hey, like, can you get to the bottom of this? Can you help me figure this out? And they will actually help you out, and you'll have direct lines of communication with Meta. If you do not have a verification, you cannot get in touch with them at all. I mean, I've tried. Basically what I had to do was I had my brother, because his account is verified, I had him, kind of be my middleman between me and Meta to kind of get to the bottom of the situation of me getting hacked in the first place. And they basically told me, because I'm not verified, they can't do anything for me. And that was the big thing in my mind. I'm like, do I want to pay $15 a month? Not really. But at the end of the day, because I use Instagram so much and it is a place where I have a lot of connections with people, I felt it was necessary to do. So I just kind of bite the bullet and pay the $15 a month. Do I care about having a blue check mark? Absolutely not. I still don't care about it. I think it's really dumb. And again, you can feel however you want to feel about it, but that's just my opinion. And I still know that people will look at accounts that are verified as like this person's official or whatever. I just don't agree with that. I don't think it matters, especially now when the barrier of entry is so low. But I just want to let you guys know that is the reason I did the verification over there. It is not because I want a blue check mark or want to look official or anything like that. Obviously, I'd like people to know that it's me, that's actually me. Although I'm not big enough to have people impersonating me, let's be honest. I'm not a huge producer, artist, influencer, or anything like that. I don't think there's anybody out there that's trying to impersonate me. I did it for the added layer of security. So if that ever happens again, which it can happen and it probably will happen eventually, I have an extra layer of security through Meta that I can get in touch with them and they can actually help me out in a situation like that instead of me just pretty much being dead in the water. So that's the reason. And again, do with that information what you will. I'm not trying to tell you you have to get verified or else you're screwed. Like, does it help in the current climate of today's social media? Yes. So again, if you've never thought about it, if you've just thought, man, it might just be a waste of time. I thought the same thing, and I still do to an extent. But if you're looking at it from that perspective, to me, that's very helpful. And unfortunately, that's just the game you got to play sometimes. And I could go on and on about how I feel about Meta, how I feel about Instagram. I'm not going to go there. I have some very strong opinions on all that stuff. But Instagram is currently the only place I'm verified. You can get verification on other platforms like TikTok and X, Twitter, pretty much everywhere. I think like a new app like Blue Sky, I don't know if they have verification yet. Places like that, you can get verified. And I'm also not sure about Threads, because Threads is technically Instagram, but it's also a separate app. So I'm not sure if I am verified on Threads or not. I don't feel like I am. I feel like there's a different process for that. Or maybe they don't have verification yet at all. I don't know. I mean, Threads is almost 2 years old now. So there's a chance they might have something like that roll out. I'm just not paying attention to it really. And then obviously, like I said, Meta owns a lot of these properties. And they also own Facebook itself. They are technically Facebook itself. So you can get Facebook verification. I'm personally not going to get any more verification, I don't think. Again, it's the risk you run, though, in today's social media climate. But Instagram, I really felt strongly about that one because it's my main platform. It's my main social media platform other than YouTube that I use, where I talk to a lot of people. That's where a lot of my audience is. So to me, I value that one more. For you, it might be different. You might be big on TikTok. Maybe you want to get verified over there because that's where your audience is, that's where all your content is. You want to protect your content, you want to protect your account as best you can. So you might have to decide like which ones. A lot of us can't afford to verify every single account, keep up with that all the time. So you might have to pick and choose. You might only be able to do one or two. If you can afford to get verified across the board, I don't see why not. You know, it will help you out in the long run. But I kind of just wanted to let you guys know about that because it has happened in the last 6 months to me, and I've had to rebuild my Instagram from the ground up, which actually hasn't been that hard compared to, you know, I think what some people would experience. Luckily for me, I have an existing audience already, and I also have another page as well with Proven Knowledge. So I was kind of able to go through the Proven Knowledge page and a little bit of my own memory just to be able to reconnect with people. And I immediately just started continuing my content schedule as usual. Like I didn't make a huge deal out of, you know, having to redo my account. Was it a bummer to lose, you know, how many years was it? It was 13 years worth of content total. Yeah, it was a bummer. But that content also exists on other platforms too. It's not like everything just existed on Instagram. So it is tough, and it kind of hurts me a little bit in like gaining new followers, because if someone saw that, you know, they would say, well, he just started like 6 months ago, whatever, you know, in which you kind of just gotta roll with the punches and take the L. I really had to take the L and just keep moving forward. And that's what I've been doing. And like I said, it's just because I'm just so used to posting content and kind of just connecting with people and doing that sort of thing. I just kept it rolling. And so if you get on my page now, there's already, you know, almost 300 posts on there from the last 6 months. So it looks like I've been doing it for a lot longer anyway already, just because I'm very consistent over there. But I think another thing is it's very important to, we've talked about in the past, building email lists, how important that is. It's very important to have different avenues of staying in touch with people, your audience, and staying in touch with clients. So having things like email lists is big because those are protected already, you know, and you obviously pay for your email list, but you're not paying for like verification on an email list or whatever. So social media is just a different game. I know I definitely miss social media from 2011, 2012, because I felt like it was in a much more pure place than it is now. It's just such a different landscape now, but we have to accept the changes. We have to accept the ways that we have to adapt, honestly, because it's going to change again. You know, it's going to keep changing. And in 5 years, we might have something even more crazy that we got to do. But again, I just wanted to make this today to kind of give you guys my experience, the reason why I did that, and maybe give you some food for thought. And again, I'm not trying to sway you to say you got to do this or you don't have to do this. It's totally up to you. That brings me to the articles that I'm going to leave in the description of the video. One is from Crossover Music, another is from Vocal Media, and then Forbes has another great article. These are all articles from the last like year and a half, and they're all talking about different versions of the same thing: getting verified on certain social media platforms, the importance of branding for music makers, using social media. And none of these are, some of them are giving their own opinion on like what they think you should do, but they're giving different perspectives. I think each one of these gives a bit of a different perspective. So I you know, definitely check those out. And again, take all that information along with what I'm saying in this video and just do with that what you will. It's just gonna have to come down to you at the end of the day, deciding if you want to, you know, set aside some money each month to do this, because that's just where we're at. But I hope you guys got some value out of this. It was, again, a really pretty quick video today. Nothing super crazy. Don't want to go into a whole tangent about how I feel about all that stuff. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Sidebar, definitely go follow my Instagram, which is Anthony Church Music. If anything, it allowed me to get a better handle because I used to be Anthony underscore Church 24 for 13 years straight, and I never changed it. Now I'm Anthony Church Music, which actually helps me out a lot. So I guess look on the bright side of that. Like I was able to get a better handle from it, and just kind of make my branding a little bit cleaner, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I hope you guys take something from this. And again, this video might be outdated in like a year because they might change it again. So I might do an updated version of this one day. We'll see. But this was the last workshop for a couple weeks. Next week is actually my birthday week. So I'm going to be doing a lot of different things. I'm going to be out with family, traveling a little bit, pretty busy. I was gonna do one next week, but I'm not gonna do it because I just don't have time. So the next one we're gonna be doing is on July 1st, and that is gonna be about reaching out to different brands. So, I've done podcast sponsorships in the past where I had to get in touch with brands. Really just giving you guys some of the techniques you can do, like how to format emails, how to send direct messages that aren't spam, make it look somewhat professional. I'll give you my experience, but I'll also give you some articles that will help figure out how to do that in a way that makes you look good, and gives you a good chance of actually hearing back from these big brands, whether you're trying to get a sponsorship or you're trying to become an ambassador or whatever you're trying to do. So that's going to be a really cool topic. I'm excited to research that. But like I said, check out these articles about social media, about verification, all that stuff. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Stay safe, stay positive. Till July 1st. See you then. Take care, guys.